For 3 months, a man could not get out of bed. The woman he loved was gone. Every song, every place, every friend reminded him of his pain. A woman now lives alone in an apartment that feels too big. She sleeps on one side of the bed. Her husband of 12 years is gone. If you're watching this, maybe you feel the same way. You can't sleep. You don't want to eat. You keep thinking about what went wrong. The amazing thing is that 2,000 years ago, wise teachers already knew how to help with exactly this kind of pain. In the next few minutes, I will share 7 simple but powerful ideas that have helped thousands of my clients turn their heartbreak into growth. And if you watch until the end, I'll show you one special technique that most therapists don't even know about. Healing from heartbreak, the Stoic path to recovery. Principle 1. Tama, Fati, love. What is? The core of Stoic wisdom begins with a radical acceptance of reality. The Romans called this ama fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what happened, but finding a way to embrace it as necessary for your journey. When a relationship ends, our natural response is resistance. This shouldn't be happening. If only they would come back. I can't live without them. This resistance creates suffering beyond the actual loss. Practical application. Start by simply acknowledging the truth. My relationship has ended. This is now my reality. Write this down and read it aloud daily. Notice how your body responds. The tension that arises is your resistance to reality. With practice, you can move from resistance to acceptance, and eventually to seeing this ending as part of your necessary path. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Principle 2. The dichotomy of control. Much of the suffering in heartbreak comes from focusing on things entirely outside our control. Their feelings, their new relationships, whether they miss us, what they're saying about us. Epictetus taught that peace comes from a clear understanding of what we can and cannot control. Practical application. Take out a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle. On the left, list everything about your situation that you cannot control. On the right, list what you can control. You cannot control their feelings toward you, their decision to leave, the past, how long healing takes. You can control your daily routines, who you reach out to for support, how you interpret this experience, the meaning you give this pain, your own healing practices. Focus exclusively on the right column. This alone will dramatically reduce your suffering. Principle 3. Negative visualization. The Stoics practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would deliberately imagine losing what they valued most. In your case, heartbreak has already happened, but negative visualization can still be powerful. Practical application. Allow yourself to fully imagine, what if healing takes longer than expected? What if you never get closure? What if they never return? By facing these fears directly, they lose their power over you. You realize that even in worst-case scenarios, you would find a way to move forward. As Seneca wrote, he who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive, but he who knows that these terms were offered him at the moment of his conception will live according to the plan. Replace death with heartbreak, and the wisdom remains. Principle 4. The view from above. When we're heartbroken, our pain becomes the center of our universe. The Stoics practiced gaining perspective by imagining their troubles from a cosmic viewpoint. Practical application. Close your eyes and imagine floating above your current location. See yourself from above. Then rise higher, seeing your neighborhood, your city, your country, the earth, the solar system. From this perspective, notice how many millions of people have experienced exactly what you're feeling right now. How many are feeling it at this very moment? How many have survived and even thrived afterward? This isn't to minimize your pain, but to connect you to the universal human experience. You are not alone in this suffering. Millions have walked this path before you and found their way to joy again. Principle 5. Memento mori mine, remember death. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. These words from Marcus Aurelius remind us of life's brevity. Heartbreak can consume months or even years of our precious finite time. The Stoic remembers that time is our most valuable resource, vast, and it's constantly diminishing. Practical application. Ask yourself, if I knew I had only 1 year left to live, would I spend it in this state of suffering, or would I find a way to create meaning from this pain? This perspective creates urgency for healing, not to suppress emotions, but to process them efficiently so you can return to living fully. As Seneca advised, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Principle 6. Voluntary discomfort. The Stoics deliberately practiced discomfort, not out of masochism, but to build resilience against involuntary hardships. In heartbreak recovery, this means voluntarily facing aspects of your new reality rather than avoiding them. Practical application. Identify what you've been avoiding. Sleeping alone, visiting places you went together, having difficult conversations with mutual friends, sorting through shared possessions. Choose one uncomfortable but necessary action each week. Face it directly, with full presence. Each time you voluntarily step into discomfort, you prove to yourself, I can handle this. This discomfort will not destroy me. As Epictetus taught, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Principle 7. Turning obstacles into opportunities. The Stoics believed that obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your heartbreak is not just pain to be endured. It's potentially the most powerful catalyst for growth you'll ever experience. Practical application. Ask yourself these transformative questions. How might this breakup be revealing strengths I didn't know I had? What parts of myself did I sacrifice in this relationship that I can now reclaim? What new possibilities exist now that wouldn't have been possible before? How might this pain be preparing me for something important in my future? Every person I've worked with who fully embraced this principle eventually reached a startling conclusion. They wouldn't undo their heartbreak even if they could, because of how it transformed them. The powerful reframing technique. I promised to share a powerful reframing technique that most therapists won't tell you about. Here it is. The Stoics practiced viewing life as a series of roles in a play. Each relationship has a beginning, middle, and end. Each person comes into your life to teach you something essential about yourself. Write a letter to your former partner, but don't send it. In this letter, thank them specifically for 1. What they taught you about love. 2. What they taught you about yourself. 3. How this ending, painful as it is serving your growth. This isn't about excusing bad behavior or denying pain. It's about recognizing that this person and this heartbreak are part of your unique hero's journey. As you write, something remarkable happens. You begin to see yourself not as a victim of heartbreak, but as the protagonist of an epic life story where every challenge serves your character development. These 7 Stoic principles aren't quick fixes, the practices that gradually transform how you relate to loss and pain. Begin with just 1 principle this week. Notice how it shifts your relationship with your heartbreak. Then gradually incorporate others. Remember, the goal isn't to stop feeling pain. The goal is to suffer well, to let this pain shape you into someone wiser, more compassionate, and more capable of profound connection in the future. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, insofar as it stands ready against the accidental and the unforeseen, and is not apt to fall. Your heartbreak has revealed your strength. Now use these principles to build that strength into wisdom. Before you go, know this: I created this video because I've been exactly where you are. This isn't theory for me. These principles saved me during the darkest period of my life. If they could transform my suffering, I know they can transform yours. Join our community of fellow travelers on this healing journey. Subscribe for wisdom on resilient living, and share in the comments which principle resonated most deeply with you. Remember, you are not broken, you are breaking open.